What I don't understand is how they don't end up there. Because they end up in here a ton. What's going on, Jimmy? That Yuri Perez black ought to be at least a $500 card. You might have been better off holding on to that and just selling it on your own right away. I was shocked the red got 200. I do remember you hitting all those at a premium. I've put a bunch out there. Well, it just depends. I mean, if he pitches well, you're fine. And I think he had 8 strikeouts in 4 2/3. So, but if you've got anything other than that, like smaller stuff, it's been moving. I've sold every single smaller card that I had out there. I mean, the gold went for like $75, and all the smaller ones went quick, like the 20 or less. All right, guys, gonna go ahead and get going. We've got baseball, basketball, extended, and then Bowman Heritage. We finally got through Bowman Heritage. I was gonna do first edition tonight, but I haven't heard from enough people telling me what they want to do. Cruz, Green, Carson Montgomery. So if you do have a spot in Bowman Heritage, and have not either paid for first or said you wanted your first from the filler, I need to know ASAP so we can get that done and move on to something else. York, Pena, Michael Garcia. That's not doing me any good because I don't think they're paying. Kumar Rocker, green ink. Or at least I haven't been paid. Hence, I'm putting a ton of singles up on eBay. Crawford, Meyer, Aranda, and there was a big one. Whoever's got Doc Gooden tonight, you get a red. Whoever's got Doc Gooden, you got a red tonight. Dwight Gooden, red. Boom. Well, if you like Ricky Henderson and Dwight Gooden, and man, Onyx did not short him. Nazi, Benny, Ryan Lasco. Ooh, there's a big one. There's a huge one. No, they're starting to pick back up. I've got 14 and 15, or will have by Wednesday. Tommy White, green ink. Tommy White, green ink. That's going to be a big one. If Yuri Perez, red, I sold a red Yuri Perez for 200, that should be a big one. At the right time. And I put in 16 last week. I haven't heard back on 16 yet, but I do have 14 and 15 coming. They're slowly getting a little quicker. Mule, Jung, Riley Green, and Reggie Crawford. Yeah, the green on camera doesn't pick up real well. I don't know why. There. That looks a little bit better, more like green. But yeah, you get it like just the wrong angle, it'll go black. But it's green. It is week 2, so if you're going to keep, make sure you let me know. Marco, Grice, Adley Rushman, and more red ink, Coop Kenny, red ink. Frelick, White, Moreno, and Jacob Gonzalez. Jacob Gonzalez. No, I haven't. Didn't even see it, to be honest with you. You get Drew Jones, Oronda, Mayer, Coop, and Yosi. I would think he would have done pretty well with it, though. And honestly, as much as I saw people hitting stuff out of blasters, probably do almost as well in it. Garcia, Murphy, Peyton Stovall. Oh, you killed it then. Arizona Reds and Angels. Anthony Solometto. What did Arizona go for? I'm wondering if it was anywhere close to what he thought. Veen, Pereira, Andy Pages. I'm going for the rainbow. Never said this on Coop before. But green ink on Coop Kenny. The Coop Kenny rainbow. Missing a black. Harry Ford, Pereira, Tommy White number 2. Whoever's got Tommy, congrats. Okay, well, he was figuring somewhere around 100, so Oswald Peraza. So, it's about right. That's about right. Well, at least that's what he was kind of thinking anyway. You got Tommy tonight, Pete? Good time to break in with him. Crawford, Pereira, Caleb Killian. Not that you would necessarily look to sell, but that red ink Yuri Perez that I got because no one bought them, and I ended up with, I sold for $200 this week. Gives you an idea. Green ink, George Kirby. Gives you an idea of where this stuff can go. I mean, that green ink there could be worth big money. All right, we've got Killian, Peraza, White, Pages, Solometto, Stovall, Gallen, Kinney, Gonzalez, Moreno, Rushman, Crawford, Green, Lasco, Aranda, Garcia, Jones, Montgomery, green ink of Kirby, Kinney, White, and Rocker. Red ink of Kinney and red ink of Doc Gooden. Dwight Gooden, red ink. All right, going to move right along with vintage here. Vintage basketball. And like I said, we do have Bowman Heritage. That'll be at 10 o'clock. And first edition, once we get everybody to speak up and get the payments in, will be shortly thereafter. Jones, Finney Smith, Sue Bird tonight. Sue Bird. How much do you think the Rays would go in this, Jimmy? Bruce Brown and Corey's. It's at $51. Isn't that a little high for the Rays? Wagner, Bacon, Josh Christopher, and MJ Walker. $80 for the Rays, really? All for Junior? Because I think he's about it, isn't he? Man. Walker, Okiki, Edmund Sumner, Ethan Thompson, yeah, Common Arrow, and 20 boxes of blasters, Robert? 20 blaster boxes? It's not like it's hobby, it's blasters. It's at $51. And the only real prospect is Caminero. Carton, Vanderbilt. I'm just curious. Alex, who's the other one? Alex Flanagan? I mean, I knew Junior was in it, but I didn't even think he was that hyped up a prospect. Trey Jones? And I'm not bashing, I'm just trying to figure it out. Holiday, Brown, Keon Johnson. Oh, Isaac? Xavier Isaac? Jalen Noel. He reminds me of Ryan Howard for the Phillies. I don't know if you remember Ryan Howard, but an absolutely young Ryan Howard. And that's like, I think that is the best case scenario, which means he won't last long. He'll get hurt. Barnes, Flanagan, Oturu, and Tyus Jones, green ink. All right, I guess with Xavier Isaac and Caminero, I guess. And then he said, I don't even know who Simon is. But I guess if they've got a couple 3 guys, that'll get them up there. Drexler, Halliburton, Sandro, and Matthew Hurt. Well, I think that's the ceiling, Robert. Not saying he can hit that. I'm just saying that I think would be his ceiling. And it's not like people would be rushing out for Ryan Howard stuff. Kind of reminds me of the kid for the Pelicans. I don't know. Most of the big guys get hurt one way or another. Naz Reid, Oturu, Cam Thomas. You got Cam Thomas tonight, Pete? I know that's one of your boys. DJ Stewart. Well, he's got no run tool. He's a first baseman. So if the bat doesn't play, he won't even make it to the league. Zagorowski, Johnson, Okiki. He's just not the type that I'd want to invest heavily in, personally. Pat Beverly. David Duke, AJ Lawson, Brianna Stewart. Been hitting a lot of Stewart lately. And Cole Anthony. But you know what I mean, though, don't you, Robert? I mean, would you be out chasing Ryan Howard? Otani is at the plate for the cycle. What's he need, a triple? I'm assuming. It's normally what people need. In our first softball game of this new season, the guy needed a triple and hit one to right field to get a triple for a cycle. Wilkins, Singun, PJ Dozier. That's a good one to have found. What kind of condition was it? Good shape? I'm assuming it wasn't. DJ Carton, if you found it in a garage. Which is what scares me off. It's like all that hype for the Pelican guy. Zion. I couldn't understand it. You knew he was going to get hurt. It didn't matter. He wouldn't last long. And that's what he's been. All these people throwing out all this money for him, I thought was nuts. Ayayi, Mitchell, Nas Reed, and Cobbin Gailey. Between him and now Ja Morant acting a fool. It's going to be a rough year for basketball cards. Cobbin Gailey, Reed, Carton, Dozier, Anthony, Stewart, Beverly, Okiki, Stewart, Thomas, Hurt, Sandro, Oturu, Noel, Johnson, Jones, Flanagan, Thompson, Sumner, Walker, Christopher, Brown, Subird, and green ink of Tyus Jones. I don't know. I've got a 5,000 count box of Richie Schaefer that tells me, they're not as good as you might think. And honestly, even the big hurt didn't really last as long as you would have hoped. He still broke down. All right, guys, on to extended. Extended. I don't know. I feel like a big half case right now. I think this one will be a big one. If you're in this one, I'm thinking you're going to be happy if you got big guys. Bowen, House, Jaden Newt, and Jace Jung. Not quite the start. Jace Jung. But that's the problem. Most of the time, their base just gives out on them. Can you imagine spending $100,000 on Zion Williamson's superfractor? Well, yeah, I'm not saying he didn't. I'm just saying he would have done a lot more if he could have hung in for a little while longer. What year did he get out? He got out earlier than I would have liked. I was a big Frank Thomas fan. Ferris, Lesko, Noah Schultz. Hey, I collect Frank Thomas crap. I've got a ton of Frank Thomas stuff. Matthew Barefoot, red ink. But like I said, yeah, that 5,000 count box of Richie Schaefer's tells you they ain't exactly perfect. Last I heard, the dude's a video gamer. He got millions, so now he just plays video games. Hughes, Acuna. Speaking of the big dude, Xavier Isaac. That would be him. Omar Cruz. Okay, 1990 to 2008. Okay, he lasted longer then. Never mind. Drew Jones, Davis Diaz, Gavin Stone. That's just me remembering that I would have wanted him to play longer. No, I'll give it that. Chase Dollander. I think I would have preferred him to play into his mid 40s, though. There were 3 players that I followed. Well, yeah, that's true, too. He did get hurt some. Ken Griffey, Frank Thomas, and Juan Gonzalez were my guys. I mean, I liked others, but those were the 3 big ones. Romero, Cole Young, Brady House, and red ink of Pedro Ramirez. Pedro Ramirez, red ink. Well, not at 38, probably. Jung, Holiday, Robbie Snelling, and Wilfred Barris. There you go, Josh. That's kind of probably what I'm remembering more than anything then. Schultz, Cross, Cole Young, and Alan Serta. Alan Serta. I was thinking we'd get a couple big ones tonight. Had that thought process. Maea, Ramos, Dalton Rushing, and Brian Acuna. Well, guys, we're getting closer to National, only a couple months away. A little more than a couple months. Starting to kind of get pumped for it. I'm not pumped for the drive, but definitely starting to get there. Jordan Walker, Robbie Snelling, Alex Ramirez. Not a bad one. How about green ink? Rafi Devers. Old Devers. Yes, if he played for the Rays, it'd be Devers, but he doesn't, so he isn't. Jordan Lawler, Robbie Snelling, Cade Horton, and Matthew Barefoot. Matthew Barefoot. Where's that Jackson Holiday black? There's Jackson Holiday, but Francisca Holiday, Moises Ballesteros, and green ink. Dylan Lesko. There's a $75 to $100 card when he gets called up. If Yuri Perez got me $200, that should at least be a $100 card. Ought to be. Whenever that kid gets called up. You got Collier, Newt, Welbin Francisca, and one more red ink. At the end, we've got a red ink, Sal Stewart with the Reds. Sal Stewart with the Reds. Snelling, House, Dollander, Stone, Cruz, Isaac, Schultz, Jung, Newt, green ink of Lesko, red ink of Ramirez, Barefoot, Stewart, and green ink, Rafi Devers. Oh, give it time, Jimmy. They always do, don't they? All right, guys. I will be back in about 30 minutes with Bowman Heritage. Bowman Heritage. Be back in about 30 minutes. And if, like I said, if we can get some information from everybody, I'll get going on first edition as well. I just need more info. All right, we'll see you guys